Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel and happy September. Who is ready for some fall reading? I know I am. I love the summertime. I love spring and summer, and I have been telling my family that the older I get, the more and more I love spring and summer as my favorite time of year. It was in the past, it was always the fall and winter, but the older I get, the more sunshine I need. So spring and summer seems to be my favorite seasons around here. However, I love all of the seasons for different reasons, and the fall for me just spells reading. I don't know what it is about the chillier weather and something about fall for me excites me about reading. And so I hope that you're excited about the fall season wherever you are, whatever kind of weather you have, and that we can have a great time during the fall reading some great books. And so we're going to start with September, and today I'm just going to talk about some of the books I'm going to be reading this month, and I hope that your September is off to a great start. So I have several things that I want to participate in, but over the summer, I don't know, I really had a little trouble with some of the challenges and things that I was participating in, and I just felt, I don't know, just rushed, and I couldn't get to some of the books, and a little disappointed in myself that I didn't get to the books. And then I was like, this is for fun. Why am I so stressed about this? So I stepped back and I said, for September, I'm going to participate in some of these readathons that I'm really interested in participating in that help me with getting some of these books read off my shelf. But I'm not going to go out and buy books or check out books from the library or anything, because I need to get some of these books off of my shelf read. And they're really good books, I can already tell. I mean, why did I pick them up? But because I was interested in reading that book. And so that's what I'm going to do for September. I'm going to share with you a whole stack of books that are potential books for September, and then we'll see how it goes. And I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to enjoy myself and enjoy as the fall approaches. So I do participate in several challenges, and so I pick books for that, and so I'll try to get to those. And then I have my TBR Spin that I've already shared that video with you. I have September TBR Spin, which is a book from my gifted shelf and a book from my historical fiction shelf, and I have those right here. I've already talked about these two. So these are priorities. These are the two books that I definitely want to make sure I get to, and that is Time and Again, which was gifted to me by one of my subscribers, Mary, and then Love on the Line, which is historical fiction, and this is one that has been on my shelf for quite some time, and I want to get to it too. So these will be priorities, and the rest of these we'll see. So let's get started. So one of the challenges that I am participating in all year long is from Jane Reads, and she has this great challenge where you read a Christian fiction. And I'm trying to read, I have a whole shelf of Christian fiction that I have not read sitting here waiting, and so I thought that would be a great one to participate in this year, and I've really enjoyed it, but I am behind a little bit. So this book I had actually picked for another challenge in August and didn't get to it, but it fits her theme for her prompt for September. It is duplicate letters in the title, and so this one works, and it was one I already had on my shelf for August, so I thought, well, here's a second chance. It's called The Widow of Larkspur Inn, and if you notice there in inn, there's two N's. There's also widow has two W's. It starts with W and ends with W. And also the author's name, Lawana Blackwell, she has double L's and lots of A's in her first name. So this is duplicate letters in the title and duplicate letters in the author. So I think I should get some bonus points for picking this one. But definitely in the title we have W's and Larkspur Inn with two N's in that one. So this one, in other words, this one fits in all directions. So this is the one that I'll be choosing for Jane Reed's Christian Fiction Challenge. And then also I'm trying to participate in Kate Howe's challenge. She has a seasonal bookshelf challenge. And for September, let me pull it up and see what it is. For September, her challenge was to read a book with school or knowledge related. And she's pretty open with how you interpret these. So I pulled one that I've wanted to read ever since I picked it up. And I picked this up at a thrift store just recently. I shared it in a book haul, but I picked up like 5 or 6 of these were at this thrift store, and it's a Cherry Ames book, and this is the first in the Cherry Ames, and it's called Student Nurse. So I thought this would work because that is school related knowledge, because she's a student. So I thought this would be great, and I can finally get to the Cherry Ames because I have not read Cherry Ames. And ever since my Let's Read Nancy, I'm wanting to read more and more of these type books. So I can't wait to try this one. So that will be for Kate's challenge for her seasonal bookshelf challenge. Now I also want to participate in Series September, and they have a bingo board for prompts, but you'll have to help me because I don't know which prompt will fit, for these books. And if they don't, it's fine too. But if I could get bingo some kind of way, maybe you can help me out. So I'm going to put the bingo card on the screen, and we're going to talk about these prompts. And then I'm going to show you my books and be thinking about how they might fit. And we can be as creative as we want to, so it does not matter. Okay, so for the September board, I'm looking on my laptop to see what they are. We have across mystery, historical fiction, fantasy, or sci-fi. Now, they also said they don't have to be the genre, but just some kind of way relate to that. So it doesn't have to be a mystery. I mean, mystery can be in the title, or there could be some kind of mysterious element, So like fantasy and sci-fi, the same, historical fiction. And then on the next row, we have contemporary, the free space, and romance. And then the next is horror, middle grade, and thriller. So as I tell you these books that are in series that I want to read, that I'm interested in, try to help me figure out how I can use these. And it can be something on the cover. It could be, something in the title. We can be as creative as we want to. So let me grab my books and we'll talk about it. Okay, so I grabbed my books, and I also wanted to mention that I don't think I said who hosts the Series September. This is Krista over at Books and Jams and Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. And they are hosting Series September through the whole month of September. And it's reading those books that you're trying to read that are in a series. So that's what this one is about. And I'll leave a link to their announcement videos. And there's also this bingo card. So I think I forgot to tell you that. So anyway, a couple of the books that I've already mentioned will work too, because this one, The Widow of Larkspur Inn, it is actually the first in a series. It is the Gresham Chronicles. So this is historical fiction, so I could use this for historical fiction. And also this Cherry Ames Student Nurse, I consider this middle grade. I don't know if it is, let me know. I would assume this would be a middle grade because it's like the Nancy Drew books. But this is Cherry Ames Student Nurse by Helen Wells. So I could count this for middle grade, or you might can come up with something else. I think it would be horror for me, scary to be a nurse because shots, blood, things like that scare me to death. So I might could use this for horror for me, because just the thought of giving someone a shot, an injection, or pricking someone's finger, oh my goodness, I don't think I could do it. It takes special people to be nurses, very special people. So anyway, help me come up with some of these as we go. Okay, Murder, She Wrote. I loved the first Murder, She Wrote. That was the very first one in the series. I just read that recently. And so this is the second one, and I think there's one of the episodes, the television episodes, that goes with this one. This one's called Hooray for Homicide. Now, that to me is a horrible title, Hooray for Homicide. But anyway, I do want to read it, and it is the second Murder, She Wrote, and so I want to read this one. This will only be my third Murder, She Wrote book, so this will be a fun one to get to. Another one that I have been meaning to read is the Susan Wittig Albert series, The Cottage Tales of Beatrix Potter. I have all of the books and never read any of them. And The Tale of Hilltop Farm, I think, is the first one. I love the whole idea of all of these little animals being a part of the story. So this is an idea. Now, of course, I won't get to all of these books. These are just ideas for Series September. The Dana Girls. The Dana Girls is written by Carolyn Keene, which is not one person. That's a group of people that wrote the Nancy Drew books. And the Dana Girls is very similar to Nancy Drew, but it is two sisters. And this one is number 2. I loved the first one I read, and I do have the third one, I think, in the Dana Girls. This is The Secret at Lone Tree Cottage. Again, this is number 2 in the series. This one I really want to get to because I love Nancy Drew so much. We did that Let's Read Nancy read along of the first 10, and I am ready for another one. So I thought Dana Girls would be a good place since I already have it on my shelf and I want to get to these. And then this is from the Elm Creek Quilt, a series that I'm reading through, and I'm on the Cross Country Quilters. And this is by Jennifer Shiverini. And I love the cover of all of these. These quilt books are always so pretty. But I think this particular one, now some of them are historical fiction, but this particular one is contemporary. So I could use this one for a contemporary. And then I also wanted to mention an Agatha Christie. Now, Agatha Christie, the one that I want to read is a standalone. However, for me it's a series because I count Agatha Christie as one of my series because I want to read all of her books. So for me, it works for this challenge because that's how I'm playing this game. So the book that I want to read by Agatha Christie is called So Many Steps to Death or Destination Unknown. And I have it in So Many Steps to Death and Destination Unknown because why not? I love these vintage paperbacks, and so I have these 2 copies of this book. And I haven't read this one yet, and I want to get to it. And I thought, really for horror, because look at that creepy skeleton hand on that one. So I thought I might count this for horror because that looks like a horror cover for a book. So anyway, this one is one that I really want to get to. Again, it's the same book, just different titles. Because I'm trying to read through all of the Agatha Christie's, and for me, that is a series. Okay, so that is for Series September. There's a lot to choose from. I'm not sure what I'll get to, what I won't. The Dana Girls definitely is one I really want to get to because I haven't read a Dana Girls in a long time. I've only read one, and it's been a while since I picked that one up. So Dana Girls for sure. And then let me know in the comments which other book that I just mentioned for Series September you think I should pick up next. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of other books. Let me grab those. Okay, I also wanted to participate in SHAKETEMBER. There are several hosts for this. I'll leave all of their information below in case you're interested. This is, of course, to read William Shakespeare. And there's lots of plays and sonnets and different books about William Shakespeare that you could read. And this year I had a goal to read 4 plays by William Shakespeare and something else about him. And I've read through gradually. I've been reading through a book about, it's called Brush Up Your Shakespeare or something like that. And I've really enjoyed that. But I've had this other book on my shelf called Bill Bryson's Shakespeare, and it's not very long, and I've been meaning to read this all year. So this is the time, because here's the thing. I knew that SHAKETEMBER would be coming, and so I kept putting it off, because when I would pick something up, I'd say, well, I can put that over into September because I can use it for SHAKETEMBER. So this is the time to read this. This will be a priority because I want to get to that book about William Shakespeare. And then I also want to get to my next play, which is The Taming of the Shrew. And then I picked up the No Fear Shakespeare because I think I found this one super cheap. I can find these every now and then. I think people pick them up for school and then they toss them, you know. So a lot of times I can find them in perfect shape because these kids, I don't know that they even read them. So lucky for me, I get them. Anyway, I like the No Fear Shakespeare's because it makes it super easy. You read the original on one side and then it gives you a modern version of that scene or whatever on the other side. And it just makes it super easy and anyone can understand these No Fear Shakespeare. So I love these and I've been going through Shakespeare, each one with these. And I really want to go back through the Shakespeares that I've already read from years ago in these two. I think I'll do that. But The Taming of the Shrew, have not read this one, so that will be my participation in SHAKETEMBER. And then I had one other book that I'm really interested in reading. I picked this up with September in mind because September's in the title, and that is The Fortnight in September. I've heard about this from several booktubers, and I think that Miranda actually did use this for her book club, I think. But anyway, it sounded like a book that I would be interested in, and it has September in the title, so this is the time to read this one. So those are the mini books, the mini possibilities I have for September. Again, I'm going to try to participate in these challenges and readathons if I can. But I'm just going to enjoy the seasons and the changing of the seasons here and just enjoy some time turning to fall here in my neighborhood. So let me know if you've read any of these, and if you think one should be a priority, let me know that too. And also, are you participating in any readathons or challenges for September? Let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.